Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the final of Monte-Carlo, and it's a banger. We've got Alcaraz, we've got Musetti, and it's going to be a very interesting matchup. They haven't played for a while. They have played a few times. They are the same generation, so all of these matches that they play are significant. Let's get the preview, because these two guys, as I mentioned, have played before, and actually have played on a clay court a couple of times too. Carlos Alcaraz versus Lorenzo Musetti is a blockbuster final in Monte-Carlo for 2025. And both players have had to battle to get to this stage. Musetti entered the tournament as a number 13 seed, and will take on Bu in the first round. And after dropping the first set, would fight back to win. 4-6, 7-5, 6-3. In the second round, he'd take on Lehechka. And again, after dropping the first set, would fight back to win. 1-6, 7-5, 6-2. In the third round, he'd take on Berrettini, who had just beaten Zverev in the previous round. There was no problem getting through in straights. 6-3, 6-3 to advance to the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals, he'd take on Tsitsipas, the number 6 seed, a man that he'd never beaten before. And after dropping the first set, he'd fight back to win. 1-6, 6-3, 6-4 to advance to the semifinals. In the semifinals, Musetti would take on the number 8 seed De Minaur, who had just beaten Dimitrov and Medvedev easily to get to this stage. And this was a battle. After dropping the first set again, he'd fight back to win. 1-6, 6-4, 7-6 to advance to the final. Alcaraz entered the tournament as the number 2 seed, and we're going to buy in the first round. In the second round, he'd take on Cerundolo, and after dropping the first set, would fight back to win. 3-6, 6-love, 6-1. In the third round, he'd take on Altmaier, the qualifier. There's no problem getting through in straights. 6-3, 6-1 to advance to the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals, he'd take on the 12th seed Fils, a man that he'd never played before, and this was a battle. After dropping the first set, he'd fight back to win. 4-6, 7-5, 6-3 to advance to the semifinals. In the semifinals, Alcaraz will take on Fokina, who was unseeded to get to this stage. And after a close first set, we'll get through in straights. 7-6, 6-4 to advance to the final. These two have played 4 times before, with Alcaraz leading 3-1 in the head-to-head. But on the clay courts, it split 1-1 down the middle, and their first ever meeting was on a clay court, where Musetti got the win in a final of Hamburg. So Musetti can take some confidence there, being able to beat Alcaraz in a final, on clay especially. Let's see if he can do it again in the biggest final of his career so far. Taking a look at the shot quality, thanks to Tennis Insights. Serve this week from both guys is dead even at a 7.3, so that's going to be really interesting to see who can get the upper hand in the final. Alcaraz, though, leads on the return slightly with a 7.8 to a 7.5 for Musetti. The forehand also in Alcaraz's favor with an 8.4 to an 8.0 for Musetti. And the backhand slight advantage for Alcaraz as well with a 7.6 to a 7.5 for Musetti. So, slight edge to Alcaraz in this one, as you'd expect, but if Musetti could serve well and really hit well in the ground strokes like he did with De Minaur, he could cause the upset. And the shot quality is calculated in real time by analyzing each shot's speed, spin, depth, width, and the impact it has on the opponent. This is a new way of analyzing matches, brought to you by Tennis Insights. If you want to check out more, you can go check them out on Twitter, link down in the description. Really fun matchup. Alcaraz, Musetti, of course, the same generation. They're going to be playing a lot more times in big matches like this in the future, but I have to go with Alcaraz. In a close 3-setter, I reckon he might just sneak it out in the end, and maybe Musetti gets a little bit tired. He's played so much tennis this week, Musetti, so I'm going to go with Alcaraz in a close 3-setter, but let me know in the comments below who's winning Monte Carlo. Okay, so there's your lineup. We've had a mixed bag of results, but we've had a couple of great matches too. The Musetti-De Minaur match was great yesterday. We had Musetti-Tsitsipas, which was great. Alcaraz-Fils was great, so we've had some memorable moments in Monte Carlo this week from the quarterfinals onwards. Of course, there's been upsets as well, with Djokovic, for example, losing. Was a huge upset at the start of the week, so it's been an interesting tournament. Lorenzo Musetti, world number 16. He is 23 years old, from Italy, 6'1", right-handed, 7 wins, 4 losses on the year. He's got no titles this year, but he's got 2 career titles, including that Hamburg title I mentioned earlier. And his form has been a bit all over the place, but this week he is coming to big form. And Carlos Alcaraz, world number 3. He is 21 years old, from Spain, 6 foot tall, right-handed, 15 wins, 4 losses on the year. He's got 1 title this year in Rotterdam, 17 titles, including the French Open, of course, last year. And his form has been a bit inconsistent, but he has been playing well. And as I mentioned in the preview, they've played 4 times, 3-1 in favor of Alcaraz. They played last year in Miami. Straight sets win for Alcaraz. They played 2 years ago in Beijing. Straight sets Alcaraz. They played the French Open 2 years ago. And it was straight sets there as well. But Musetti's having a week. He's having a great week. So let's see if he can finally get the win over Carlos after a few years of losses. Now, talking about rankings, if Alcaraz wins this match, he will be number 2 in the world, overtaking Zverev. Big deal. Musetti, if he wins today, he'll be in the top 10 for the first time ever. He's already at a career high ranking, even if he loses. But If Musetti wins, he is into the top 10 for the first time in his career, kicking out Casper Ruud. So that'll be interesting. So a lot on the line for these guys. I think more for Musetti. I mean, Alcaraz being number 2 in the world, even if it doesn't happen today, it will probably happen in a couple of weeks anyway, just because of his he's got a lot of points to make up. But yeah, maybe a little bit more pressure on Musetti for that reason. But how are we doing, chat? What's going on? Who have I got winning? I made a video about it. Just go watch the preview. Go watch the preview. Go watch the preview. Musetti's kind of a late bloomer. He still hasn't peaked. Well, I mean, he's only like 22, right? Oh, he's 23. He just turned 23. But, like, I mean, late bloomer. Draper just won his first big title. He's 23. Sinner kind of started peaking last year at 22, right? So, I mean, compared to Alcaraz, yeah. He's a late bloomer compared to Alcaraz. Like, you know, everybody else who's... I mean, comparing anyone to Alcaraz is silly. Because Alcaraz is doing things that no player his age has ever done. But I wouldn't say he's a late bloomer. I mean, if he was like 27, yeah. But 23, I think he's right on time. I think it's right on track. It's perfectly normal. 23-year-old doing this at this point, starting to play his best tennis, that's about right. Alcaraz might do a Rafa 2010 on clay, imagine. Well, let's just wait until he wins this, all right? And then we'll go from there. Wait until he gets to Rome without having lost a match, all right? Then we'll talk about it. I'm bummed about Demon's loss. Yeah, he was so close. He was so close. So close. Musetti feels like an early bloomer who then stagnated. Yeah, look, he kind of like broke out at maybe like 19, and then the last few years maybe struggling with the expectation, and probably struggling with the comparisons, right? You know, being like compared to Sinner, being compared to Alcaraz, right? I think having a one-handed backhand kind of puts him in that, like, gives him more attention as well. That kind of sucks. Like, if you got a one-handed backhand, people pay more attention because they like how you play. So you're gonna have like more eyes on you. So, but he's getting there. He's getting there now. Just found out the Stuttgart finals on Monday. Yeah, because on Friday they do no tennis on Friday. Good Friday is a no sports day in Germany. I'm too upset about de Minaur to enjoy this. All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow. Musetti has a set in him. Even in his name, there's a set. Good one. You're also not allowed to dance in Germany on Friday. Huh? Are you making a joke? You're making some kind of a joke? I don't understand. It could have gone either way, to be honest. Demon is still playing very well. Oh, yeah. Even though he lost, it was very encouraging from Demon all this week. I genuinely feel like Alcaraz's tactic is to attack mixed with moonballs on the backhand. Let's give him a slight advantage in this match. I think the head-to-head gives him an advantage more than anything. He's got a massive advantage, by the way. Looking at the betting, Musetti's a big underdog in this one. Oh, all the clubs are closed. No dancing anywhere. Okay. All right. Musetti, Alcaraz. Final of Monte-Carlo. Musetti's going to serve first. Now, weather. The reason why they are playing this early is because it could rain later. So usually this wouldn't be the time of the final. They wouldn't be playing this early in the day, but because of weather, they decided to move the final and start at midday, just so they can get the singles final. The doubles final will be after this, but it's just so they can get through this match. Because remember, Barcelona starts tomorrow, and there's no bye in the first round. So these guys are going to have to play on Tuesday. So they don't want to have a possible final tomorrow, and then Barcelona, where Alcaraz is definitely going to play, and Musetti will probably want to play, and then go play that on Tuesday in the first round. That wouldn't be fair. So had Barcelona had the bye in the first round, maybe they wouldn't have. Maybe it wouldn't have been, as they would have changed the time. But because of that, I think that's why they changed the time, to make it fair on these guys to get to their next tournament without having to rush too much. But I don't mind it. It's at 8 p.m. It's perfect time for me to watch tennis. All right. Musetti to serve. Who you got, chat? I'm going to go Alcaraz in 3. I reckon Musetti might be able to get off to a better start than he has this week. And I don't know. I just feel like Alcaraz is going to play the best tennis he's played all week. He hasn't played great this week, so he's not played his best tennis this week, Alcaraz, but he's still in the final anyway. Jay.
Hey Cam, why are all of your old live streams not watchable anymore?
Channel maintenance. They'll be back, don't worry, they'll be back. Think of the 5. All right, 15 love. Musetti wins the first point of the final. 6 a.m. Yeah, some of you have to wake up real early for this one. All right, 15 all as Alcaraz wins the second point. As long as Alcaraz is tactically sound, he'll win. Okay. It's 5 a.m. in Texas. Some of you are putting in some real early hours. As Musetti says, the fault second serve. Perfect at 11 a.m. Nice. As we serve. The backhand of Alcaraz. Return goes to forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz with the forehand to the backhand of Musetti. The forehand of Alcaraz on the stretch. Goes wide, and it's 30-15. Obviously, this crowd is fully behind Musetti. 30-15. Musetti serves again. Serve is a fault, second serve. As a return from Alcaraz goes to forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz backhand. Into the forehand of Musetti. Again, the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand on the stretch. As Alcaraz backhand cross. Musetti slices it, but it's in the net. 30-all. 30-all. All. First game of the final. 30 all. City serves again. And the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand of Musetti's a drop shot. Alcaraz backhand slice is a drop shot return. Musetti gets it, but Alcaraz. Did he hit it? Or did he leave it? No, he left it. Musetti hit the lob long. Break point, 30-40. Break point, Alcaraz. Well, Alcaraz tried to hit it, but luckily went wide. And he completely missed it. As the return goes into the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz forehand on the stretch. Is a winner down the line. Carlos breaks. Huge forehand winner to start. Alcaraz is here. 1-love. But remember, chat, if the score is 6-1, Musetti will win. All right. First game, first break. Musetti already in trouble. Who knew Musetti was only 23? Yeah. Hang in there, Musetti. Vamos. Musetti, this 1-6 lucky score. Feels like Musetti has been here forever. Yeah, it's like Shapo. I think Shapovalov and Musetti are so similar in the way that their careers have gone. Like they've even Tiafoe, right, to an extent. Like those guys have been around, it seems like forever, but it's because at an early age, 17, 18, they did, they kind of announced themselves to the world, and everyone kind of, it feels like they've been here forever, but they did something, they were so good at such a young age. Even Alcaraz, I mean, he's only 21, and he's done so many things, and we forget that because he's been around for a long time and he's done so many good things, but we're like, we forget that how old, like, it's different when you're like Draper, right? Draper comes along and we're like, oh, Draper's like this new guy. And you go, no, Draper's 23. He's been around for a while. The guys in his generation have kind of peaked a little earlier, or at least played better. Like it's just weird how this kind of stuff goes. Like some players feel like they're brand new and they're young guns, but they've actually been around. And then there's some guys that have been around forever, but they're only still early 20s. Zogo serves an ace out wide, 30-15. 30-15. All right, 30-15. Serve again. Into the back of Musetti. Return gets the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz hits it long, 30-all. All. Serve again. Serve and volley from Alcaraz. Too good. 40-30. Alcaraz for a 2-love lead. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Into the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Alcaraz. Goes long and we get to deuce. All right, we get to deuce. As the return goes to forehand of Alcaraz. Back in out on the stretch from Musetti in the net. Advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz. What's left for Alcaraz to complete the Golden Slam? We talked about this the other day. He still has to win Rome, Cincinnati, Canada, Shanghai, Paris. So if he does win this, he's won 4 out of the 9. So he's still got 5 to go. The second half of the year is when he's got to start winning those tournaments. Back in return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz. Back in now from Musetti. Into the forehand of Alcaraz, who hits it wide, and we're back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. Back to deuce. As we return out of the forehand of Alcaraz, back forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand goes wide, and it's advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz. Serve again. As the return goes forward to Alcaraz, and Alcaraz puts it long. And it's back to deuce. Why are they playing already? Isn't this supposed to be 3 p.m.? Yeah, so they started this final early because they were worried about the weather. So they decided to start this a lot earlier than it should have been. So the reason they're playing now is because of the possible rain on the way. So they wanted to catch it before the rain. As it a 4-1 rally, Alcaraz on the stretch. Musetti down the line. There's a winner. Advantage Musetti to get back the break. Advantage Musetti. Advantage Musetti to get back on serve. And Alcaraz serves again. And Musetti returns. Alcaraz volley. Puts it away. Back to deuce. Carlos is Alcaraz. He's not Rafa. Okay. If Rafa was playing right now, it'd be 3-0. Oh, okay. That's why you're saying that. Okay. All right. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. As with a fault, second serve. Hey, F4. Thank you for the 36 months. As the backhand goes down the line to the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz slice. Goes long. Advantage Musetti. Advantage Musetti. Advantage Musetti to get back on serve. As we had a backhand slice from Musetti down the line. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand to the forehand of Alcaraz, who hits a winner. We're back to deuce. Back to deuce. All right, serve again. As we default second serve. As we serve and volley, but the passing shot winner is too good.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Alcaraz was just slow to the net. Advantage Musetti. When was the last time Alcaraz played a top 10 player? I think he played a top 10 player De Minaur. De Minaur, didn't he, in Rotterdam? Wasn't that a... Yeah, De Minaur was number 8 in Rotterdam when he played him. So that's the answer. Drop shot Alcaraz is good. Musetti gets it. Alcaraz backhand lob. Musetti with a backhand smash is good, but Alcaraz hits a forehand long. We're back on serve. Musetti's had to do a lot of work early. 1-1. So yeah, De Minaur... In fact, that's his only top 10 win of the year, is De Minaur. But please, before anybody starts throwing this away and saying this is not a fair win if Alcaraz hasn't beaten a top 10 player. If Alcaraz wins a title, he wins Monte-Carlo. Nobody cares who he beat to win, all right? He won the title. Nobody cares who he beat. Nobody's going to remember the numbers of the opponents he played, all right? We're only going to remember that he won that title. That's all that matters. Do you remember every single player that Djokovic ever played in every tournament ever? No. You remember who he played in some finals, but you probably don't even remember every single final he played at Grand Slam level and who he beat in those finals, right? So it doesn't matter if he doesn't beat a top 10 guy to win this title. It's not his fault the top 10 lost. He can only beat who's in front of him, and if he wins the title, nobody cares. 15 love. So just remember, nobody cares. Nobody cares. If Alcaraz wins his title, nobody cares who he beat. And it doesn't matter if he doesn't play a top 10 guy. 15 love. As Musetti serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve, Musetti. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Back into Musetti slice. To the slice of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti with a slice backhand again. Alcaraz runs right into forehand in the net. 30 love. I would argue that Fils is already a top 10 talent. Yeah, and Musetti, right? I mean, if he beats Musetti and Fils, they could be future top 10 stars anyway. So, anyways, 30 love. Musetti serves again. And the return goes out by Alcaraz. 40 love. Yeah, this is Alcaraz's 7th Masters final. He's 5. Before this, he was 5 wins, 1 loss. He's won 2 Indian Wells, 2 Madrids, Miami, and he lost in Cincy when he had match points. And so the backhand return from Alcaraz goes long. Musetti leads 2-1 in this first set. Lorenzo always wins to Carlos. No chance for Carlos. First of all, incorrect. That is wrong. He's only won once against Alcaraz. So, I mean, totally misinformed. And 2, nobody cares. Tien won. He's into the main draw of Munich. Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw him up against Van der Zandschulp. I didn't see the score, the end score, but that's good to see. Was our question was would Tien be competitive on clay, right? So that's cool. If you can beat Van der Zandschulp, who I think won Munich or got to the final twice in Munich a few years ago, right? Back-to-back finals, so that's a good win. ITF players could probably beat Carlos today. That's pathetic. If you've bet on this match, you're not allowed to type. If you bet on this match, if you've got money on the line, I don't want to hear from you. I want you to keep it to yourself, right? Complain in silence. Please don't type if you bet on this match. It's 2-1 first set. It's on serve. Nothing has even happened yet. So your money is not even anywhere. So just relax, all right? Don't bet and type. It's really annoying. All right, 2-1. If you bet on this match and you understand that Musetti has been playing well this week and you realize that, then it's okay. You can type. But the people that are like betting and crying because they are freaking out that Alcaraz is not winning this match 6-love, then just relax, all right? All right, Alcaraz hits another error. Love 15. As we return now into the backhand of Alcaraz. Forehand from Musetti. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti gets another free point. Love 30. Love 30. Chance for Musetti to break. As they zoom in on a bunch of random people in the crowd that are probably really famous that I don't know because I'm an idiot. Love 30. Serve out wide the forehand of Musetti. Return goes in the forehand of Alcaraz. Here's a drop shot. Winner. 15-30. $15-30. $15-30. As Alcaraz serves again. Into the forehand Musetti. Alcaraz forehand again to the forehand Musetti on the stretch. Alcaraz forehand into the net. 15-40. Musetti to take the break and lead. 15-40. Are you still looking for switch games? If so, Xenoblade is awesome. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. All right, serve. Into the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Alcaraz. Getting the forehand of Musetti on the stretch. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti puts up a lob. Alcaraz comes in. Forehand straight to Musetti's backhand, but he hits it in the net. There's a chance there. 30-40. Thanks, Cam. Your dedication and knowledge of tennis is greatly appreciated. No worries, Dean. I'm just happy to be here. The greatest thing about tennis is that every day I learn something new. That's the best thing about this sport. You can never know everything about this sport. It's impossible. And that's what keeps it interesting. Because there's always something. We're all learning something. 30-40. Alcaraz with the forehand. Into the forehand of Musetti. There's Alcaraz forehand again. Goes wide. Musetti breaks. 3-1 Musetti. 3-1 Musetti. He was down 1-love and he's broken twice to get back and then go up. 3-1. Musetti leads. Just checked, it's 12:30 in Spain. That's siesta time, hence the level drop. Okay. 3-1. Musetti serves. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Return goes into the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz backhand. Again to the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz backhand again to the backhand of Musetti. Into the backhand of Alcaraz on the stretch. But he hits in the net. 15-love. Now, chat, I know I'm calling it early, but chat, just hear me out. Draper, Menzik, Musetti. Did anybody have that on their bingo card at the start of the year? Not in that, maybe not in that order, but for those guys to win a 1,000 this year. Maybe Musetti, maybe Draper. Menzik's a bit random at this point, but Draper, Menzik, Musetti. 3 new champions to start the 3 1,000s. Musetti probably you could have said Musetti was ready for one. Draper, you'd say, look, if Draper won one, you wouldn't be surprised. Menzik was totally out of nowhere. But to have 3 new champions to start the 1,000 series, obviously we didn't know at the start of the year that Sinner was going to be banned for these ones, but that's kind of impressive. I know I'm calling it early, but 30-love. But to have 3 new champions, 3 new 1,000 champions is kind of awesome. As Musetti goes down the line at the backhand of Alcaraz in the net, 40-love. And then when Sinner comes back, he's going to be like, oh, so nobody won a 1,000 that should have. None of my competitors. Now I've just got a bunch of new people I've got to think about. Anyways, 40-love. As Musetti serves again. As the return goes into the forehand of Musetti. Forehand now from Alcaraz. Again, the forehand of Musetti is Alcaraz forehand. To the back of Musetti sliced. In the net, 40-15. 40-15. By the way, chat, it doesn't count as a curse because I said at the start, I'm calling it early, so I acknowledge that I'm saying this, knowing that this is way too early to say Alcaraz is not going to win. Plus, I picked Alcaraz to win anyway. But I said that at the start so that way nobody would come at me and say that it was a curse. Just so everybody knows, right? Anyways, Musetti with a slice. Alcaraz gets with the backhand. Musetti backhand down the line. Alcaraz with a forehand cross. Musetti's got it. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. That's a great shot. Musetti puts up a lob. And Alcaraz comes in with a drop shot. And it's 40-30. 40-30. 40-30. You said yesterday that Alex would beat Alcaraz in the final. And I stand by that. But we'll never know. We'll never know. But I stand by that. If Musetti beats Alcaraz in the final, then Alex de Minaur could have beaten him in the final. I stand by it. But we'll never know. 40-30. As the return goes into the forehand of Musetti. Musetti hits it out and it's deuce. All right, we get to deuce. We get to deuce. Musetti says an ace. Advantage Musetti. Advantage Musetti. All right, Musetti holds. All right. 4-1. All right. Musetti knows better not to win the first set 6-1. Well, if he wins the first set 6-1, then watch out. Cam, can you please publish the score a bit quicker? It's a request. I can't publish the score quicker if I can't do that because I can't do it. I can't. Sorry, I can't do it. Because if I publish the score quicker, then when I'm talking, the score will tell you what's happening, and then it'll spoil what I'm saying. Does that make sense? But also, it's on point anyway, right? It's not that delayed. All right. Alcaraz really needs to learn to calm mentality. Yeah, Alcaraz definitely needs to know that because he hasn't won 4 slams and a silver medal at the Olympics or anything. Alcaraz definitely needs to figure out how to deal with the stresses of playing in a big final. Alcaraz started so well, so I don't know why he's hitting the forehand in iffy places again. He won, yep. Okay, Alcaraz serves. And Musetti returns it. And Alcaraz hits a smash. 15-love. 15-love. As Alcaraz serves again. Into the back of Musetti. Return winner down the line.
This is going to be on Tennis TV, bro.
All right. 15-all. 15-all. Serve again. Alcaraz is a fault, second serve. Second serve. As a return from Musetti goes wide. And it's 30-15. Serve again. Into the forehand of Musetti. Return in the net. 40-15. Serve again. Is a fault by Alcaraz. Second serve. Second serve. To the backhand of Musetti. Alcaraz with the forehand. And the forehand Musetti goes down the line to the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand in the net. 4-2. Alcaraz holds. All right. Okay, 4-2. Musetti has the break. Hey, what's going on, Non? How you doing? Isn't there like a festival in Thailand right now? Were there like a water festival or something? All right, return goes in the forehand Musetti, back in out from Alcaraz to the forehand Musetti. Alcaraz forehand down the line. Musetti with the volley, puts it away. No, Alcaraz got it. I lied. Then Musetti with a smash. Alcaraz backhand gets into the forehand of Musetti. As Alcaraz back in the rally, goes down the line of the backhand of Musetti into the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand again to the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand down the line. Alcaraz backhand inside out to winner. Jeez, why did I call it earlier? I forgot we're watching Carlos. I forgot that it was Carlos. You can't, unless the ball bounces twice, you can't call the point over for Carlos. He'll get back every shot. And then the backhand inside out winner, why not? Why not? Love 15. Serve again. As a return goes in the front of Musetti. Forehand now from Alcaraz. The backhand of Musetti is Alcaraz backhand on the stretch. Musetti forehand. Slice Alcaraz in the net. Nice hitting Musetti. 15-all. $15-all. And Musetti serves again. As we just served down to the backhand of Alcaraz, forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz gets it with a lob, but Musetti volleys it away. 30-15. 30-15. Musetti serves again. $30-15. Musetti serves. And Alcaraz hits a return long. 40-15. Musetti to go to 5-2 first set. 40-15. Musetti serves again. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Forehand of Musetti. To the backhand of Alcaraz. As Alcaraz hits it wide. 5-2 Musetti. 5-2 Musetti to start this final. All right. 5-2. Musetti leads. 34 minutes played. All right. How are we doing, chap? How are we going? All right. I can't believe Carlos was the heavy favorite. I know, right? But then again, it kind of makes sense, I guess. Is this a real room? I want to pet your dog. Hee hee. Yeah, everything's real. Everything's real. Okay. Musetti with the 5-2 lead to start this final. Alcaraz is serving to stay in the set. Is it a fault second serve? Second serve. Into the back of Musetti. Return goes to forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand of the stretch. Can't get it. 15 love. 15 love. Love. Must refocus Alcaraz in the second, yeah. Alcaraz serves a fault second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Musetti. Forehand of Alcaraz goes long. 15-0. Serve again. Will Musetti be top 10 if he wins the final? Yes. If he wins this title, Musetti will be in the top 10. Was it a fault from Alcaraz? Second serve. As the backhand from Musetti goes into the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand slice. Alcaraz inside our forehand. Musetti with the backhand lob. Goes wide. And it's 30-15. 30-15. What's happening to Carlitos? He is just getting outplayed, but also making a lot of errors. Like his error count is a little high. We said this yesterday, chat, that the second semi-final between De Minaur and Musetti was a better quality, and that if Alcaraz played the way he did against Fokina, he wouldn't be able to beat De Minaur or Musetti. And that's what's happening right now, as Musetti hits a wide 40-15. Like, Alcaraz is playing like he did yesterday, but it's not good enough. Because these guys, Musetti and De Minaur yesterday, much higher quality and much better tennis. And Alcaraz is a story of the week for Alcaraz. Yeah, he's had some tough matches, but he's done enough to win. He's beaten guys that he can beat without playing his best. You can't beat Musetti this week without playing your best. You can't do it. You can't play sloppy against Musetti this week. 5-3. Alcaraz holds. Musetti's going to serve for the first set. Musetti serves. Down the tee, the backhand of Alcaraz. Return goes forward to Musetti. Alcaraz backhand. Volley Musetti is too good. 15 love. 15 love. As Musetti serves again. Fault, second serve. the forehand of Alcaraz. Return goes to forehand of Musetti. Musetti hits it out. 15-all. By the way, the person who asked about the stats are here. I've just put everything on this side now instead of it being like all over the place. It's a little easier to manage. So the stats are still here. They're just a part of the rotation. 15-all. So don't worry, I didn't ditch the stats. They're still here. They've just been moved. 15-all. There's a backhand from Alcaraz, cross court, the backhand of Musetti, sliced into the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand again to the forehand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz in the net, 30-15. 30-15. $30-15. There's a fault from Musetti. Second serve. All right. Set point for Musetti to take the first set. As with a serve. Out wide as a fault. Second serve. As with a serve out wide. The forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand now from Musetti is a drop shot. And Alcaraz can't get it. Musetti takes the first set. 6-3 in the final. All right. Musetti takes the first in 40 minutes as well. Alcaraz has to lift his game. He is not playing well enough to win this match. First set, 7 winners, 6 errors from Musetti, 11 winners and 14 errors. Alcaraz, 11 forehand winners from Alcaraz. Sorry, forehand errors from Alcaraz. Alcaraz's forehand's a problem. That's the problem. All right. Even if Musetti doesn't win, he should still be considered in the same league as Draper and Mensik. Yeah, maybe. Except they've got 1,000 events, so that's the only difference. Not bad from Musetti after his exhausting week, yeah. There is no more Big Four in today's men's. The depth is deeper than the men's tournament. Yeah. Uh, 4 minutes short of the full match of the Dimitrov Demonor match, yeah. Yep. I think that was 41 minutes, wasn't it? Wasn't that 41 minutes? Okay. First in the bag. Alcaraz has got to clean it up. Alcaraz has to clean it up. He is playing with too many errors. All right. Here we go. Back to Alcaraz. He's going to serve first in the second. Is literally the first set. Stop saying it's over. Somebody said it was over at 3-1. So in the first set, 3-1. They're like, it's over. Whoop, this is over. Let's see what Alcaraz can do. Can he lift his game? As Alcaraz comes to net. And then hits the volley. And Musetti can't get it back. 15 love. Serve again. Is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes in the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand now from Musetti into the backhand of Alcaraz. Into the back of Musetti. Down the line's good. The forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand of Musetti is in the net. 30 love. 30 love. As Alcaraz serves again. Forehand goes down the line, the backhand of Musetti. Backhand out from Alcaraz, the backhand of Musetti. Down the line, the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand into the forehand of Alcaraz on the stretch. Musetti gets the point though. Alcaraz overhits it, 30-15. 30-15. So to the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz backhand to the backhand of Musetti. And Musetti hits it out, 40-15. As Alcaraz serves a fault, second serve. As the return goes in the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand now from Alcaraz goes out, 40-30. 40-30. Serve again. As the return goes in the forehand of Alcaraz and forehand of Musetti. Cross court goes wide. And it's 1-0 Alcaraz in the second. 1-0. I think Musetti is going to be scared now a little bit. Okay. All right. Here we go. Alcaraz with a lead in the second. 1-0. Even if Musetti doesn't win, he has had a great week and is proving himself. Yeah. All right. Serve for Musetti. As the return goes to the back of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand to the back of Alcaraz. As Musetti on the stretch puts it wide. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. As we default from Musetti. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Alcaraz, the forehand of Musetti. As Alcaraz hits it out, 15-0. Musetti will be 7 in the world if he wins this title. Yeah. All right, 15 all. As we return now to the forehand of Musetti. Back into Alcaraz down the line. Musetti with the forehand cross. Alcaraz drop shot in the net. 30-15. $30-15. $30-15. As Musetti serves a fault, second serve. As the return goes in the back of Alcaraz, drop shot is good. Musetti can't get it. 30-all. $30-all. $30-all. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. As we just serve now the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand now from Musetti, sliced into the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand of the stretch. Alcaraz volley is a winner. And it's 30-40. Alcaraz to get the break. 30-40. Lovely volley by Carlos. 30-40. Who's played more tennis this week? Musetti or Carlos? Musetti. For sure, Musetti. Also, because Musetti's already played one extra match, because Musetti had to play first round because he didn't get a bye in the first round, but then also like his matches have been so long. Let me see if I can find out the exact number. As Alcaraz gets the break. 2-love. Musetti hits it long, and Alcaraz takes the break. 2-0 on the second. I don't know if I can find out how long they've been on court this week. Here we go. So, yeah, Musetti's been on court 11 and a half hours. Alcaraz, 7.5 hours. Oof. So, yeah, Musetti has been on court 4 more hours. And played one extra match, but 4 more hours on court. Which is pretty brutal. All right, 15-love. As Alcaraz says a fault, second serve. As we find it from Alcaraz in the forehand of Musetti. Musetti in the net, 30-love. $30-love. Also, this is the first time Alcaraz has lost. The second time Alcaraz has lost. The third time Alcaraz has lost the first set this week, but he's come back to win. Whereas Musetti, he's only won the first set once this week, but he won that match, so it doesn't matter. Drop shot's good by Musetti. Alcaraz gets it with a slice backhand winner, though. 40 love. Alcaraz is showing up now. He's come to play now. 40 love. King Carlos is here, chap. 40 love. As Alcaraz gets a 3 love with a big vamos. Now, Alcaraz, by the way, before this week, had not actually come back from a set down to win a match. He lost the first set against Lehechka in Doha and ended up losing the match. And also lost the first set to Draper in the semis of Indian Wells, lost that match. But this week he's beaten 2 guys from a set down, Cerundolo and Feast. So he's been back from a set down. Now, Musetti this year, when he wins the first set, he has won 6 out of the 8 matches that he's played. The last time he lost after winning the first set was against Feast in Indian Wells. So there you go. There's some stats. Okay. Where they're playing next week? Both these guys are playing in Barcelona next week. They're on opposite sides of the draw, though, so they can't meet to the final if they do meet the final. I have a feeling, though, if Musetti wins this match, I don't think he'll play next week. Like, if Musetti wins this title, I think he'll take next week off. Because he's played a lot of tennis this week, and there's no point in trying to play next week when you've got Madrid straight after that. Whereas I think Alcaraz, doesn't matter if he wins or loses, he'll play Barcelona. He'll play Barcelona, like, no matter what happens. Because Barcelona has won that twice. And it's, home. Matthew.
Will Alex win tomorrow at Barker? Ty from Wales.
Thank you, Matthew, for the donation. Who's he playing? Who is he playing? He's playing Echeverry. I would say yes. I think he'll beat Echeverry. All right. 3 love Alcaraz in the second. As he hits it out, Alcaraz, 15 love. 15 love. As we return out of the forehand of Musetti, and Musetti shanks it long. 15 all. $15 all. $15 all. As it goes out in the return from Alcaraz, 30-15. $30-15. Serve out wide. It's a fault second serve. By the way, chat, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We have a big week next week. Big week next week. As the return goes in the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz backhand in the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz backhand again in the net. 40-15. 40-15. 40-15. 40-15. As Musetti serves a fault, second serve. As the return goes into the slice of Musetti, find it from Alcaraz. Into the back of Musetti. As Alcaraz comes to the net and hits a backhand volley winner, 40-30. $40-30. Stuttgart draw comes out today. $40-30. As the return goes in the front of Musetti, drop shot's good, but Alcaraz is going to get it with a slice. Musetti slice down the line. Alcaraz forehand cross is a winner.
This is going to be on tennis.
Alcaraz just looks at Musetti and goes, I do drop shots. You better keep that shit to yourself. All right, deuce. Alcaraz not mucking around now. All right, we get the deuce. Yeah, Alcaraz is just like, that's my shot. You stop doing that. Deuce. Serve again. For Musetti is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. And the backhand return goes into the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz backhand into the forehand of Musetti on the stretch. Alcaraz gets it with a slice. Musetti backhand straight to Alcaraz, so it's a passing shot winner.
This is going to be on tennis TV, bro.
Advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Carlos to get the double break. As Musetti serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand of Musetti. Again, the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand to the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti down the line. Alcaraz gets it with the forehand of the stretch. As Musetti forehand goes out. 4-love. 4-0. All right, Alcaraz leads 4-0 in the second. Alcaraz beast mode activated. Yep. All right, return goes into the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Musetti on the stretch with a slice. Alcaraz forehand. Into the forehand of Musetti. As Alcaraz forehand again. Is a winner. 15-love. This crowd are like, okay, you're good. You're good. All right, 15-love. As we get a serve again. An A70. 30-love. $30-love. As Alcaraz serves to the backhand of Musetti. Backhand of Alcaraz goes long. 30-15. 30-15. As we just serve again. Into the back of Musetti. Return the net. 40-15. 40-15. 40-15. As Musetti hits a return winner, 40-30. 40-30. 40-30. As the return goes out by Musetti. 5 love Alcaraz. Now, chat. He has won a 6 love in the second set of a match this year. But this is probably the best tennis Alcaraz has played all week. He hasn't played great this week. But Musetti's forced him to play great this week. Well, today. Why is Musetti losing? Because Alcaraz is winning. All right. Alcaraz putting on a clinic, right? He is. Alcaraz did win 6 love against Fran in the second set as well, yes. I was talking about Draper, though. So it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag of results. And Canby, you think Sinner would be back as he left off? Probably. I don't think Sinner's going to come back and win Rome. Well, it depends. That depends. Maybe he does. It just depends on... I mean, there's definitely going to be some rust for Sinner, for sure, but I think eventually he'll kick off and he'll be fine. 3 months isn't that long of a time for Sinner to completely lose his momentum. At least I don't think it is. Maybe it is. When he comes back, he loses everything and we'll think, oh, shit. But I think he'll be fine. I think he'll take a couple of matches to get back into it, and then he'll be back to what he was. He'll be fine. Unless he gets injured, before then, he'll be fine. All right. 5 love. Musetti hits a drop shot wide. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. By the way, chat, we've got 3,000 people in the house. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to sub if you haven't already. As Musetti serves. A fault. Second serve. As we second serve the back end of Alcaraz. Alcaraz to the net. 15 all. $15 all. Serve again. Musetti serves. To the back end of Alcaraz. Return goes to forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz forehand of the stretch. It's wide. 30-15. 30-15. 30-15. As we serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Alcaraz. Back into Musetti down the line. Alcaraz forehand of the stretch. Goes wide, and it's 40-15. 40-15. As Musetti tries to avoid a bagel. $40-15. Serve at the back end of Alcaraz. Forehand of Musetti. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti hits it long. 40-30. 40-30. Musetti serves again. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Musetti. To the forehand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz in the net. 5-1. Musetti on the board. Okay. Alcaraz serving for the set. Great strategy to lose the second set from Musetti. Yes. Yes, that is, yeah. That's what he's doing. All right, slice Musetti down the line. Alcaraz comes in with a slice forehand. And Musetti hits it in the net. 15 love. 15 love. It's not a strategy to lose sets. Stop being dumb. I think they were just kidding. Anyways, return there, 30 love. I don't think that was serious, bro. I think they were just kidding around. Nice strategy. I wonder if it worked for him. 30 love. As we serve out wide as fault from Alcaraz. Second serve. Serve again by Alcaraz. Into the forehand of Musetti. Return goes backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand slice. Is in. To the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand slice again. There's Alcaraz with a drop, with a slice forehand. That was a Federer shot. That was a Federer shot. That was a Federer shot. He did a Federer shot. He went to hit a drop shot and then he hit a slice forehand down the line. That's a Federer shot. Roger. Roger. All right, set point. Alcaraz to take us to a third. As he serves a fault. Second serve. He double faults, all right.
Myself in there.
40-15. 40-15. 40-15. Still set point. As the return goes back into Alcaraz. Backhand of Musetti with a cross-court backhand to the backhand of Alcaraz. Goes down the line, but it's long. 40-30. 40-30. 40-30. Set point number 3. As Alcaraz serves another fault. Second serve. Serve in the back of Musetti. Return is a winner.
Unbelievable, 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 unbelievable.
All right, deuce. What a return by Musetti. Deuce. Why would Musetti purposely choke in this format? Let Alcaraz build up. Yeah, bro, I think he was kidding. All right, deuce. As we serve now the forehand of Musetti to the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand into the backhand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz in the net. Okay, comeback started now. Maybe no advantage. Maybe advantage Musetti to get back one of the breaks. Advantage Musetti. Advantage Musetti. To get back one of these breaks. Cam, who wins between Federer 2011 and 2024 Alcaraz on clay? The crowd, the audience. We win. Advantage Musetti. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Musetti. Alcaraz with the serve and volley, and the volley's too good.
This is gonna be on tennis TV, bro.
We get back to deuce. Back to deuce. Serve volley on a second serve. Most people would never even think to do that, but Alcaraz does it because he can. Deuce. As we serve. Here's a fault by Alcaraz. Remember, Alcaraz was up 40-love in this game. He had 3 set points. Just saying. Second serve. Into the forehand of Musetti. Return goes back into Alcaraz. Musetti forehand to the forehand of Alcaraz. Off the tape. Goes wide. Advantage Musetti to get back a break. All right. Advantage Musetti. Advantage Musetti. As the return goes down the line, Alcaraz to the forehand of the stretch. Musetti cross court in the net. Yeah, Musetti hit a great return too. That was just too good by Alcaraz. All right, deuce. We get the deuce. Alcaraz serves again. As the return goes back into Alcaraz, Musetti gets the point though. Alcaraz makes another error. Advantage Musetti. Who is the most natural talent of the big three? Federer. Advantage Musetti. As Alcaraz serves. An ace-17. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. Alcaraz serves again. As the return goes in the backhand of Alcaraz. Forehand from Musetti. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti down the line at the backhand of Alcaraz on the stretch. Alcaraz hits it wide though. Musetti with another chance to get the break. One of the breaks back. He's still down a lot. All right, advantage. Advantage Musetti. Can the Monte-Carlo 1000 get 1,000 likes? Good question. Okay. Advantage Musetti to get back one of these breaks. Good serve Alcaraz. Return goes wide. And we get back to deuce. Who do you think is good on grass, Federer or Djokovic? Both. 8-minute game, by the way. Alcaraz serves. Into the forehand of Musetti. Oh, he hits a wide Musetti. All right, set point again for Alcaraz. To get the second set and take us to a third. Oh, Musetti just missed that as well.
It's out! It's out!
Just missed it. All right. Forehand from Alcaraz into the forehand of Musetti. Is Alcaraz forehand. Again to the forehand of Musetti. Musetti hits it out. We're going 3, baby. We're going 3 in the final of Monte Carlo. Alcaraz takes the second very easily. We're going 3. We're going 3. It's a weird scoreline, but we're going 3. Is Federer hinting at a comeback? No, he's coming back to play exhibitions. Hinting at a comeback to play exhibitions. So, yes, maybe. All right. By the way, that set by Musetti was not good. 2 winners and 9 errors. 12 winners and 13 errors, Alcaraz. Alcaraz a lot better than he was in the first set, but Musetti fell off. And now we're going 3. Hasn't been the prettiest match. I would say the de Minaur Musetti match was better quality than this. But if Musetti could just lift a little bit, we might get a final set banger. All right. Alcaraz level seems to be on par with his Rotterdam. Maybe. De Minaur Musetti match was amazing. Yeah. Musetti lost his set 6-1. Yeah, I know, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We all know what happens now. He gets superpowers. Turns into Super Saiyan Musetti. Carlos for the win, 60%. Okay. All right. Here we go. Musetti serving first in the final set. 1 hour and 20 minutes played. It's been a quick final. The weather has held off for now, but it's still not looking pretty out there. Hey, Angela, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. 1 to Darren, 1 to 321, 1 to Sam Sarah, and 1 to Imaginary. And 1 to Joe. That confused me. Thank you for gifting 5 members. Appreciate that. All right, here we go. They're about to start the final set. This crowd is starting to get loud. They're giving a standing ovation. I don't know why. It hasn't been a great match, but it hasn't been the best match. But they're giving a standing ovation anyway. I guess respect to the players, despite it's been a bit. It's been all right. I guess it's okay. That's a nice gesture from the crowd. All right. Musetti to serve. Who's winning this final set, chat? Who you got? Who have you got? I am sticking with Alcaraz because I said Alcaraz in 3 and I'm sticking with that. As with a serve now from Musetti's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Let's hope this final set is the best of the 3. As with a form from Alcaraz, Musetti with a pass, Alcaraz with a volley, goes wide. 15 love. 15 love. Chat, it's going to be weird to finish this stream. I'm not going to repeat. I'm not going to say it. All right. 15 love. Musetti serves again. To the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Musetti to the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand into the net. 15 all. 15 all. Serve again. There's a fault by Musetti. Second serve. Second serve. By the way, chat, what's the schedule for tomorrow? They haven't brought out yet, have they? No schedule for tomorrow yet, is there? I think tomorrow we might have a day off. Maybe. All right, backhand of backhand rally. As Alcaraz backhand into the forehand of Musetti. To the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand. Again, the forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti down the line. Alcaraz gets there with a slice. Musetti backhand. Into the forehand of Alcaraz on the stretch. Musetti forehand down the line is wide. 15-30. Wait. Yep. 15-30. 15-30. Pardon me. Yeah. 15-30. 15-30. Chance for Alcaraz to break straight away. 15-30. Musetti serves. To the back of Alcaraz. Musetti backhand down the line. Alcaraz forehand on the stretch. Musetti goes down the middle to the back of Alcaraz, who hits a winner. 15-40. Alcaraz to take the break straight away in the third. 15-40. Musetti's going to have to lift. Musetti is going to have to lift. If he has any chance of winning this final, he has to lift. He serves an ace, all right. Saves one, 30-40. One saved. 30-40. Serve again is a fault. Second serve. Second serve, the back of Alcaraz. Backhand out from Musetti. Into the front of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Again, the front of Musetti. Down the line to the backhand of Alcaraz. Musetti forehand again. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. It's a drop shot, but it's... Oh, hit the net. And didn't go over. Deuce. Who has more fans, Musetti or Alcaraz? Please keep a poll here. As Musetti has a one-handed backhand, he has more fans, I think. Chat. 1 in the chat if you're a fan of Alcaraz. 2 in the chat if you're a fan of Musetti. 3 in the chat if you're not a fan of either and you're just here because you like tennis and you don't really care and your favorite player is someone else. There's the poll. Count the votes. Somebody else. I'm busy. Somebody else. Somebody counting? Somebody count the votes. Musetti back on. Back to deuce. As the return goes in the front of Alcaraz, back Cam Musetti. No, Alcaraz hits it out. And it's advantage Musetti. Chat, what was the votes? Who counted? Somebody give me a vote. Who counted? Somebody tell me. Alcaraz was 75%, says Azza. Well, Azza wouldn't lie, so there you go. Alcaraz 75% favorite. Fan favorite, I think. Is that what we're doing? Advantage Musetti. As he serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As we return now from Alcaraz in the front of Musetti. Alcaraz forehand. And Musetti's forehand goes wide. And we get to deuce. We get the deuce. We get the deuce. Serve again. In the front of Alcaraz. Great return. Musetti hits it down the line. But it goes long. Advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz to take the break straight away. You know what I haven't had in a long time, chat? I haven't had a pizza. I can't remember the last time I had a pizza. I also have dementia, but when was the last time you ate a pizza, chat? I haven't had a pizza for ages. Anyways, advantage Alcaraz. Hey, what's up, Mitchell? How you doing? Nice dog profile picture. Backhand return into the backhand of Musetti. Forehand out from Alcaraz. The forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz slice into the forehand of Musetti as Alcaraz forehand again to the forehand of Musetti. Musetti hits it out. There's the break. 1-love Alcaraz. Final set. All right. Thursday for you. Ordered some Domino's then, mate. Domino's is trash. Are you serious? You come in here and we're watching an Italian play and you say Domino's? That should be illegal. That's an illegal offense right there. Domino's? You said Domino's when Musetti's playing? How dare you? That should... Bro said Domino's. Philly cheesesteak? Philly cheesesteak does sound delicious. Domino's is good, though? Are you kidding me? Bro said Domino's is good. Yeah, say no to Domino's. Unless they sponsor the channel, then I'll change my mind and eat it. It's not the worst pizza, but there's definitely better choices. Come on. Come on. It's like getting a burger from McDonald's. You're like, yeah, best burgers in town. You're like, you probably get a better one. There's definitely better pizzas. Like, you go to like one of those homemade ones or the wood fire pizza places. Way better. Anyways. 15-love. As Musetti hits it out on the return. 30-love. $30-love. Serve again. As Musetti hits a lovely return and Alcaraz hits the slice of the net. 30-15. Literally had 2 pizzas last weekend. Or yesterday. I had Chianti beef and caramelized red onion pizzas. Bro, where did you get those from? They're like gourmet Gordon Ramsay pizza. Like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. All right, 30-15. Serve out wide at the fault from Alcaraz. Second serve. I'm not going to lie. That does sound delicious, though. As Musetti hits it out on the return, 40-15. You got it from the Co-op in England? You got those from a Co-op? Well, Co-op's a fancy Tesco, so I mean... It's no Mark and Spencer. Mark and Spencer's? That's the expensive shit, right? I remember, sometimes. 40-15. As the return goes to back end of Alcaraz, Musetti with a slice. Musetti's in trouble, by the way, physically. He's starting to... Yeah, Musetti can't run. I think Musetti's hurt his hip. 40-15, and it's game 2, love Alcaraz. I think Musetti's finally... His body's finally said no. I've had enough. All right, 2 love Alcaraz in the third. Oh, it's pronounced Chianti. Oh, sorry. What the hell's a Chianti? Pardon me. Oh, it's like a... Oh, it's a red wine pizza. Cool. I don't know what it is. Anyways, 2 love. Alcaraz with a backhand into the slice of Musetti. Alcaraz forehand. Musetti's not going to be able to run for this as he hits it long. Yeah, Musetti's done. Musetti's done. 15. Love 15. Musetti's physically... He won't play Barcelona next week, Musetti. I'm telling you now. He's not playing next week. Love 15. Oh, thank you, Hadar. Appreciate it. And cheers to... Thank you, Gene. I'm bringing the updates, mate, but I'm just a little busy. We'll get to the Stuttgart draw after this. Once this match is over. Love 15. We'll talk about next week when this week's over. Double fault Musetti.
Get myself in there.
Nah, it's not cramps. He's got like a hip injury, I think, or it seems like a leg injury. He might get a timeout. I love 30. Alcaraz looking for that double break. Love 30. As we return into the forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz with a slice down the line, but it's wide. 15-30. 15-30. Serve again. As we serve into the backhand of Alcaraz. Slice Musetti into the forehand of Alcaraz. And Musetti forehand in the net. 15-40. Yeah, Musetti's walking around real slow. Yeah, please stop spamming. I acknowledged you and then you started spamming. And if you've been here for a while, you know the rules. Come on now. Come on now. I said your name and now you're like taking advantage. Come on now, brother. 15-40. Musetti serves. The forehand of Alcaraz return is a winner. I don't know if... I mean, hopefully Musetti doesn't retire. And Chad, I just got a flashback, and I hope I'm wrong, because Musetti's only going to get better. I mean, he's 23. He's hopefully physically will get better. But this reminds me a lot of like Guillermo Coria. How he would really like he was so good back in the day, and he was promising to do stuff. But injuries would tear him down in the end. He would retire big finals a lot. Not to mention the French Open final, but there was a few big finals that Coria played. He did actually win a big final too, a couple of big finals too, right? But it just kind of made me think, Coria, I remember like Coria retiring from leg issues in finals, you know? So hopefully it's not like that for Musetti. And look, it's the first big final he's been in, so let's not go crazy. He's getting the trainer out on court to help with the thigh. Right thigh is the problem. Yeah, and I'm having like flashbacks to when he, retired against Djokovic, in the French Open at those times, like that's, yeah, you hope that he plays out this match at the very least. Even if he's hurt, just play the match. Don't retire the final. Unless you can't walk and you can't like stand, just even if you lose 6-love, just take it. Don't retire the final. Not the biggest final you've ever played. Just play it out. And don't play next week. He won't play next week. He won't play Barcelona. There's no shot. Yeah, he's played a lot of tennis this week, Musetti. He's played a lot of tennis. So it is an official medical. If it was fatigue, he wouldn't be getting a timeout. So it's definitely more than a fatigue. It's a muscle issue. All right. Another minute left of the medical timeout. But Alcaraz is in control of this final. Raducanu is not playing Stuttgart. Nope. She is not. All right. Last little bit. They're just trying to loosen up Musetti's leg. That is giving him some problems. All right, Musetti's back on court. Let's see if that helps. Alcaraz with the double break. 3-love. 3-love Musetti. Sorry, 3-love Alcaraz. Musetti in trouble. As he comes in with an easy volley, Alcaraz. Musetti can't even run. 15-love. Love 15. Sorry, 15-love. Love. Serving to the back end of Musetti. Musetti in the net. 30-love. I don't think Musetti's going to end this match. I don't think he's going to play this match out. I don't know if he's going to. I think he might retire, chap. $30-love. So in the forward of Musetti. Musetti hits it out. 40-love. 40-0. As Alcaraz serves again. Into the back of Musetti. Alcaraz finding the open court to win up. 4-love. Alcaraz leads the final set. For love, Carlos. If you're just joining, Musetti has a leg injury. And that is why this final set is going the way that it is. The second set, though, Musetti just didn't play well. The leg wasn't a problem in the second set. It's only this final set that it's been a problem. As far as we know. He's only been limping at sort of 2-love in the third here. Okay. 15-love. Musetti's playing on, though, which is good to see. 15-love. As we return out of the front of Alcaraz. Front of Musetti in the net. 15-0. As we just serve in the back of Alcaraz. Return. Goes in. 15-30. Chat. I would be very disappointed if Musetti retired at 5-love. That would seem. I get it. Don't make it worse, but I don't know. Alcaraz gets lucky as well with the tape. 15-40. Like, just play. Like, hopefully he just let Alcaraz win the match. You know, give Alcaraz that moment to celebrate match point, even if it is because you can't run. Like, don't rob Alcaraz of winning Monte-Carlo. Don't hand him Monte-Carlo. Make him win it, even if you're in pain. Slice Musetti goes in the net. It's 5-love. 5-love. I think Musetti's going to keep going. Yeah, he's going to keep going. Good for Musetti. Good on Musetti. He's not going to win this match, but good for him. You know, he could have easily thrown the towel in 2 games ago and gone, nah, I'm out. But good for him. I'm glad that he knows what's going to happen, but I'm glad that he's playing on. Yeah. Yeah, good sport. Good. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to. He could do whatever the hell he wants, right? He could say, no, I'm injured and I can't play and I'm out. But it's good to see that, he's at least going to finish the match. Yeah, respect to Musetti for sure. He could have easily thrown the towel in. And I think if this wasn't a final, he probably would. If this was the quarterfinals or the semis, he probably would have thrown the towel in. But good to see that he's just at least going to finish the match. Will Alcaraz play Barcelona? I would say yes. I think Alcaraz will play Barcelona. I don't think Alcaraz played well enough this week to think that he's feeling confident. And he played well in spurts this week, right, when he needed to, but Alcaraz overall hasn't been the best player this week. He hasn't played the best quality of his tennis yet. So I think Alcaraz will go home to Barcelona, play that, and try and get some better quality tennis because, unfortunately, this week, even though he might win Monte-Carlo, which is why he's so great, he can win without playing his best, I don't think he would be happy with the level he played overall this week. So I think next week he's going to go play and try and get some more form, Get some better form, better quality form, All right, Alcaraz serve the match. Musetti slices it back, and it goes long. 15 love. 15 love. As we go to serve again. Into the net from Alcaraz. Second serve. Second serve into the back of Musetti. Return goes wide. 30 love. 30 love. As he serves again, Alcaraz. There's a fault. Second serve. As he serves a double fault.
Get myself in there.
30-15. 30-15. As we return now into the front of Musetti. Down the line goes long. 40-15. Championship points for Carlos Alcaraz to win the Monte-Carlo Masters. And just tick another box. He's just ticking boxes, chat. He's 21 years old and he's got a lot of trophies. A lot of different trophies. As he serves. Out wide, Musetti returns. Alcaraz puts it away. Carlos Alcaraz raises his hands. He wins Monte-Carlo. Carlos Alcaraz with the Monte-Carlo trophy. And he's checking on Musetti here, which is good. He's, didn't over-celebrate, obviously. With Alcaraz, didn't over-celebrate, didn't fall to the floor or anything like that. He knew Musetti wasn't there physically, so he's not gonna disrespect Musetti that way. But Carlos is the champion in Monte Carlo. GG's. And like I said, chat, he didn't play well this week, Alcaraz. If you looked at his matches, he hit a lot of errors. But he won. And that's what Djokovic has done over his career. We've seen Djokovic play some horrible tournaments, but still somehow lifts the silverware. And, we don't remember the quality of the match. We just remember him lifting the trophy. Alcaraz did that this week. He played well when he needed to. But Alcaraz has got some, and this is the good part for Alcaraz, he's got room for improvement. So, even though he won the title, he still could be better. He could have played better. And he's going to have to play better because the guys that he's going to play, he didn't play any top 10 players this week. We talked about that. Nobody will remember that. But, if he's going to play against Sinner when he comes back or, Djokovic or Zverev if he gets good, those are the guys that he's going to have to play probably at the Grand Slams. He's going to have to play better than this week. But, hey, he played good enough to win. And he's got 2 trophies this year, Carlos. GG's. Musetti choked hard. Yeah, bro, you didn't even watch the match. What a relief. Zverev is no longer number 2. All right, relax, buddy. We're missing Rafa. Well, Rafa's gone and he's never coming back. So you're going to have to move on. You have to move on. You're going to have to move on. He's not coming back. Rafa's gone. Forever. Like, really gone. Like, he ain't coming back to tennis. He hasn't touched a racket since he retired. He's never coming back. Ever. Move on. You have to. You have to move on. Damn, who's spamming? Relax, relax, relax. We get it. You're excited, but just please, please, please relax. Yeah, Federer's not coming back to play ATP tennis. He's coming back to play exhibitions. That's a totally different thing. Federer's not coming out of retirement. He just wants to play exhibitions. Yeah, Rafa's living his best life. He doesn't need no tennis. All right. Cool. So that's that. And that's Monte-Carlo. I mean, look, Monte-Carlo is a tough one because, no Sinner, so they kind of let it down. No WTA, which we all know that the WTA has been fire. So it's a little bit been an interesting Monte-Carlo. I'll tell you what we didn't get. We didn't get rain, which is great. There was no weather interruptions, which was perfect because we were worried. Actually, no, it's a lie. There was a little bit of rain, but it wasn't enough to make it. It wasn't enough to ruin the tournament. So we got away with that, considering it was supposed to be rain today and the weather was supposed to be pretty bad. So we got through it, which is good. But yeah, no Sinner, Djokovic losing early, Zverev losing early. Kind of does take, we did lose a lot of those really good matches that we were hoping for. We'll probably trying to bank on maybe a Djokovic Alcaraz, Zverev Djokovic rematch in the semis was on the cards, maybe. But we got some good matches. Berrettini Zverev was good. Obviously, Fils Alcaraz was good. Musetti Demonor yesterday was fire. So it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst 1,000 event we've had, or it wasn't the worst Monte Carlo we've watched, but we did leave a little bit to the imagination, I think. Couple of matchups that we didn't get to see, but hopefully we get to see them in Madrid and Rome before the French. Those clay matchups we all want to see before the big one. Stuttgart's draw apparently already came out, so I'll have to make a video probably about it. Would Musetti have won if he wasn't injured? I think he would have put on a bigger fight in the final set for sure. He got injured at 2-0 and then that was it. He would have made it more of a fight in the third, but it happened. Stuttgart 500 going to be more far better than the 1,000 in Monte Carlo? Possibly. Demon is more fit and go Hawks. You say go Hawks? Have you seen the score? Go Hawks? Are you kidding me? Go Hawks. Did they come back from 50 points down? Did I miss something? No, they're coming back. They're about to lose, though. Is that Mia snoring loud? Yeah. Musetti awful? No, Musetti injured. At the end, he was injured. Second set, Musetti was bad. You can't hide away from that. He didn't play well in the second set, but the third set, he just couldn't. His leg fell off. Congrats to Carlos. Hope Musetti gets well soon. Yeah, I don't think Musetti's playing next week. I'd be shocked if he played Barcelona at this rate. Hey, Jay.
LFG Carlos. Not the way he wanted to win, but he had some battles this week and mental hurdles. So happy for him. Back to #2. Lorenzo wishing him a speedy recovery. Should he skip Barcelona for Madrid?
Musetti should. I think Alcaraz will play next week. Alcaraz will play in Barcelona. Thank you for the 10. Thank you, Giovanni, for the donation as well. Appreciate that.
Thanks for always fun coverage. Demon assist.
Thank you, Donna, for the 2. Demon assist. What do you mean demon assist? I'm confused. What do you mean by demon assist? Which tournament will Sinner play after return? He'll play in Rome. He's coming back for Rome. All right, see you later, Azza. Carlos is so classy. Spent a long time during on-court interview talking about Musetti. Love to see it. Love to see it. Hey, Lady SJ, thank you for the 31 months. Appreciate. Carlos should play Barcelona and Madrid. I think he will. He'll play all of the above. Like I said, chat, and Alcaraz fans, don't come at me because it's great that he won, and this is like a positive. It's a positive. He didn't play his best this week, Alcaraz, which means he can only play better. So I think he would want to play Barcelona to get himself to play better, because the level that he played this week was good enough to win, but he needs to play better. I mean, we saw it in the first set today. We saw it in the first set in the first set against Feast, right? When he doesn't play that high level, he's vulnerable. So I think Alcaraz will play Barcelona next week to get better form, or like at least better quality tennis, rather than playing, and look, keep winning, right? Obviously, that confidence will come from that, but Alcaraz wasn't amazing this week, as he was, I guess, at the French Open last year. Like this year, like he wasn't, like this week, he wasn't his best, Alcaraz, which is scary because he can still win without playing his best, which is the sign of a champion. I think he acknowledged that they didn't play well, so upwards for him. Yeah, I mean that's the scary thing that's a great thing about Alcaraz, right? It's like, if he's winning tournaments when he's not even playing well, how are you going to beat him when he plays well? You got no chance. If he starts playing well, you got no chance. Alcaraz played well in the second. He played better in the second for sure, and Musetti fell off. And then the third set was just the third set we can't even talk about really about. Alcaraz was just playing a guy with one leg, but yeah, if the French Open was next week, I wouldn't feel as confident to pick Alcaraz as if he, I would be still a little worried. Okay, it's a good win, but also the quality wasn't as good as he should be. We know Alcaraz is much better than what he's played this week. He was not at his best, still good enough to win. Exactly, which is spectacular, but. Good thing is we're just starting. Yeah, good enough to come back against Feast, come back against Musetti, come back against Cerundolo, which is good. It's good. He should be beating those guys. But, yeah, when he starts playing the top clay guys, he's got to be much better. Yeah, at least he won, exactly. Without being 100%. That's what makes him amazing. So who has played better than Alcaraz this week? You keep judging him against his best rather than his competition. Well, you're right. I mean, he could play against, nobody and win the French Open. But, I'm looking at it from a point of view of what happens when he plays Sinner. What happens when he plays, at the French? What happens if he plays Zverev at the French? What happens if he plays Djokovic at the French? If he plays like this, he's not going to beat them. Well, he might beat Zverev and maybe Djokovic if Djokovic is not playing well either. But that's That's what, like, again, great win. Could be better, though. He could be better. He could have played a lot better, which is a good thing because it means that if he played amazing this week and then he just fell off, it'd be like, oh, he peaked. He's just getting started, right? So he's like here, but his best is up here. So he's still got some, even though he won a title and gained all this confidence, he still could be better, which is scary. But I don't know if he can beat Sinner like the way he played this week, right? You know, if he plays this level against Sinner, that's going to be tough. If he plays this level against, Djokovic, it could be tough, right? I mean, that's the only thing. And look, I think Alcaraz fans deep down would know that. Like, oh, he won. That's great. We can celebrate. But also, he won by not playing his best, which is he'll need to be better against the better guys. All right. Why do people enter the quality conversation about Carlos? See, this is what happens, chat. When I say something, when I speak honestly about Alcaraz's abilities, I get people coming at me. I'm not saying Alcaraz was bad and lucky or anything like that, all right? Alcaraz fans, don't take... This is not personal attack. Don't get angry or upset. I'm saying that Alcaraz, this level of Alcaraz, is good enough to win this tournament against these guys, but I want to see more from him. He's better than what he played this week. And he's going to have to be better if Sinner comes along. I mean, I could just blow smoke up all your butts and be like, oh, hey, Alcaraz is the best clay courter of all time and nobody can beat him. He's unstoppable. Alcaraz is the GOAT. He can't even be touched. But that would be a lie. That would be a lie if I said that. And I'm not going to come out here and just be like, Alcaraz is the clay king. Long live the king. Like, he's not yet. Don't take it so personal. Carlos did enough to win if he faced Sinner, he would lift his level. Well, that's what I want to find out. Yes. Lady SJ, exactly. He has beaten Sinner the last 3 times they played today. Exactly. Exactly. He played well enough to win this, which is great. He played as well, and that's what Djokovic used to do, right? Djokovic never played his best tennis every match. Wimbledon 2019, he played terrible compared to Federer, but he won, and that's all that matters. So if Alcaraz plays better than the guy across from him and he wins, then who gives a shit how good he played, right? But I'm just saying that if he plays a really high-quality clay courter who's playing very good on that day, this is not going to be the level that he can't win with this level. He's going to have to be better, right? Which is good because it means that this isn't peak Alcaraz yet. We haven't seen peak Alcaraz yet. We're just getting started. Peak Alcaraz is still around the corner. Maybe he's going to slowly get there, and once he gets to the French Open, then he starts demolishing people and he starts like just wrecking everybody, right? It's a good thing. If he peaked this week and he was beating everyone 6-love, I'd be like, oh no. He's winning really good. It's like great, but also like, oh, can he maintain it? So it's not a bad thing that he's not played his best this week, yet he still won, right? Yeah, we haven't even nowhere near peak Alcaraz. We've seen glimpses of Alcaraz being peak, like through games and rallies, but peak Alcaraz is nowhere near yet. One of the best looking trophies. It is a classic trophy. Monte-Carlo is classic. And by the way, Alcaraz has now won 4 out of the 9 1,000 titles. He's almost halfway to the Golden Masters, which we love to see. Maybe he can be the second person to do it. Who'll be world number 2? Alcaraz will be number 2. He overtakes Zverev. He will overtake Zverev. Can you suggest a peak Alcaraz match I want to watch? I mean, look, peak Alcaraz, one of the best matches he's ever played would be Wimbledon 23 against Djokovic. That was a great match. I mean, last year you can watch a couple of those French Open matches against Sinner. And I mean, Sinner versus Alcaraz Miami 23 still feels like one of the best matches they've ever played. If you want to see peak Alcaraz, that felt like it was like, because Sinner was playing so well, Alcaraz was playing like had to play that level too, right? So I would say Miami 23 against Sinner was pretty awesome too. That's the level of Alcaraz that I hope we get to see. He didn't play like that this week, but that's okay. That's okay. He's got time to get to that level. There's no point in peaking early. I mean, Tsitsipas won this 3 times. 0 French Opens, right? So winning Monte-Carlo is great, but you don't want to play your best tennis in Monte-Carlo. There's so much more tennis left to go on the clay. You don't want to peak in week 1 or week 2, technically. Alcaraz Kecmanovic, Miami 2022 was goated as well. Yeah, that's another good one. For sure. Anonymous.
Vamos Carlos. This is Nurse Jackie Acker MS Anonymous. Just graduated nursing school. Pray skin tone -4 potting face. Thanks Cam. Your streams and my love for Carlos helped me get through nursing school. I appreciate you, heart.
Congrats. Love to hear it. Thank you for the 20 and thank you for the 10 months as well. Congrats on graduating. Well, actually, I'm just looking at the Barcelona. There's a lot of good players in the qualities of Barcelona, by the way. Carl's the definition of winning ugly this week. I thought he was a goner against Feast. Yeah, that was the most impressive performance was against Feast for sure. Like the way that he fought back after a poor first set. You know, I know he beat Musetti 6-love here and Cerundolo and stuff, but you go, okay, Musetti on one leg. Okay, Alcaraz was good, but Musetti wasn't up there. But Feast made Alcaraz play, had to play better, right? Even against Cerundolo, after the first set, Cerundolo fell off. So that wasn't really that good. For Kina, I mean, that shouldn't have been that close. Alcaraz should have won that easier. But yeah, Feast was the best that we saw Alcaraz. Feast made Alcaraz play his best. Feast is very scary, for sure. I mean, with a little more experience, Feast might have won that match. But yeah. Fran was never playing well. Alcaraz was playing bad. Well, yeah, I mean, you could say that. First set that Alcaraz was just playing terrible. But again, after the first set, Fran was not there. Do you think Alcaraz will naturally raise his level of hard opponents? I think so, yeah. I think he will, yeah. He'll have to, otherwise he won't win. All right. I'm going to sign off in a second, chat, then I'm going to go do sleep. I feel like Feast could be the new Songa. That could be a fun... I would love to have a new Songa. Songa was great. I need Feast and Zverev's draw at RG. Yeah. Was Madrid 2022 close to peak Alcaraz? I don't think we've had a peak Alcaraz. We haven't seen peak Alcaraz yet. Peak Alcaraz is his highest level consistently, which we haven't seen yet because he has moments and then he dips. We haven't seen peak Alcaraz yet. Up until now, what's been peak Alcaraz up until now? Probably last year. I mean, once he won Wimbledon last year, I think that was probably peak Alcaraz. That were the best we've seen him play. Maybe even Beijing last year. I mean, when he beat Sinner, when everybody was losing to Sinner, I mean, that could be, again, I don't think we've seen peak Alcaraz yet, but I think I would say the best that he's been was probably last year. I know he beat Madrid. In Madrid, he beat like goats and stuff, but I feel like he's been like that. He was maybe there was a bit of an element of surprise back then. He kind of surprised Djokovic and Nadal because he wasn't, because people didn't know what to expect from him yet. He was a promising young player in 2022, but he hadn't won a slam yet. He hadn't been, number one yet. So I think 2022 he maybe kind of surprised everybody. But I wouldn't say he was peak then. I think last year he was much better. Especially beating Djokovic in straight sets at Wimbledon was crazy. And I know Djokovic had one leg and blah, blah, blah. But still, like demolishing Djokovic in the final of Wimbledon. But Alcaraz gets consistent. We'll see he'll be even better. Like we've seen glimpses of Alcaraz. That's what's so scary, Chad. That's why I keep saying he's him, because we've seen glimpses of Alcaraz brilliance, right? He's played really good for like a couple of months at a time or a couple of tournaments at a time. But then he'll drop off, right? And he'll kind of lose that mojo. Once Alcaraz gets consistently dangerous, and he's only 21, so he's only getting started, that's when Alcaraz will be unstoppable. And the hardest thing to do right now in tennis is beat Jannik Sinner. He's the only one who can do it. The only one who can do it consistently. So just wait until that guy becomes consistent and doesn't lose second, third rounds like he has been in the last 12 months. That guy doesn't lose. That guy won't lose. I don't think Carlos will ever be consistent, but more consistent than he has been. Like less errors. Like he cleans up his game a little bit and doesn't try and go for too much. That'll be like don't even bother. Don't even show up to tennis that day. There's no point in trying to play that guy. All right, chat. I'm getting out of here. But we're back again. I don't know if we're back tomorrow. It depends on who plays, but we'll be back for Barcelona, Stuttgart. Barcelona, Stuttgart, maybe Munich. I don't know. Munich's kind of a bit of a miss for me. Maybe a couple of matches, though. We'll see. Just have a look at Stuttgart draw. Swiatek versus... Oh, man. Swiatek Ostapenko quarterfinal? Okay. Andreeva Pegula? Jesus. Stuttgart was going to be crazy. It's crazy. Sabalenka Towson second round. Okay. All right. So we got matches to watch next week. We'll watch all of those matches when we watch them. Draw preview for Barcelona is going to come out after this. I thought we'd get this week over with, so then we'll talk about next week starting after this match. But the draw previews will come out in the next couple of hours. All right. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you guys next week. Monte-Carlo is over. It felt weird, Monte-Carlo. It didn't feel like a 1,000 this week. I don't know why. It just kind of felt... I mean, it was a 1,000, and it's worth a 1,000. And Alcaraz won the 1,000. But it didn't feel like a 1,000. It kind of just felt like a 500 maybe. I mean, we've had some really big 500s this year that have felt like 1,000. So maybe that's... I don't know. It was just a bit strange this week. But clay court season is officially starting. And Alcaraz has got a 1,000 event in Monte-Carlo. First one of probably many that he'll win in his future. 3-6, 6-1, 6-love. He beats Musetti. Musetti also got a boost in the rankings. We'll talk about that on the ranking show tomorrow. But Alcaraz wins. He wins his 18th title.